This is Journey Through Miro. I am Nulla Moore, and these are my boys. Say hello, boys.
Hello, boys.
Hello, boys.
Who will now introduce themselves.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, I'm Dot Steven the Stole. I play Yip Yap No Tail, not Yo Yap No Tail. I do theology, apologetics. I'm an author. I have a book that is coming out on my birthday next month on the 30th. On Amazon.
Great. Now I'm going to be obligated to buy it with my birthday money.
And this is my lovely fiance, the DM of this game.
I just love that she blushes every single time you mention it. That's adorable, and I hate it.
I think it's the alcohol, but go on.
Yeah, it's definitely that. But I should also introduce myself. I am Jeremiah, also known as the Black Doctor, also known as Balgroth the Dark. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. In the next few days, I actually started a GoFundMe because I need funding in order to go to London in the summer. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, it's going to be fun.
I am at Dale Jitsu at TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter in approximately that order. I play the role of Isaiah Yeager, Magus extraordinaire. And I do work for a living, but it's a highly regulated industry and I'm not supposed to talk about it in situations like this. So
It's classified. I work for the government.
Okay. So, who can give me a recap of the last session?
We watched an old lady turn into a tree.
yeah, my final note is yip yaps about some random kobold tale.
Yeah,
I see what you did there.
we witnessed that mortifying thing. We got our stuff back finally.
You guys got a whole bunch of stuff.
We got our stuff back. Yip Yap got wild magic alcohol, I guess. And
yeah, I can get my stuff back. I need 50 totem carvings, which are definitely a real thing.
What? So, yeah. And we're still looking for the conspirators who are plotting evil against the king.
Indeed.
Yeah, we could become the king.
Maybe not. Yip Yap still doesn't understand why it's a bad thing that the king is old.
Okay.
It's because old people don't last forever, Yip Yap.
So, we pick up. It is nearing the end of the day. The sun is beginning to set. The streets are beginning to clear, and the the lamps are being lit. And tonight, or this evening, guards are standing on not every corner, but every other corner of the streets, very stoically watching their surroundings through their helmets of silver.
Mm.
Yip Yap looks
walks
around.
over to one of them.
Yip Yap looks around for a blue crooked-nosed Kenku accidentally lighting a rat folk on fire.
Okay.
Dear.
Balgroth walks over to one of the guards. What's going on? Why the increased security?
The guard there kind of looks at you and gestures with his lance in sort of get going sort of motion. And he says, "There's a new curfew, my fellows, implemented today, so no harsh punishments, but I suggest you make back to your homes as quickly as you can."
So they haven't told anyone why this curfew was started?
Well, there's been an uptick in robberies, crime, petty break-ins, things of that nature. We're just trying to keep people safe. Like I said, implemented today, so I understand if you didn't know.
If there was that kind of stuff, you'd think they'd get rid of the curs, not implement a few more?
Hmm.
Come on, Yip Yap. Come on, Yip Yap. We're going.
Where,
Um,
where?
back to our bugs.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for the information. We'll keep that in mind.
Of course. Have a safe night, gentlemen.
You as well.
Have a lovely evening.
I'm not a man. I'm a kobold.
He puts him on. He puts Yep Yep on his shoulder and just walks away.
Okay. He goes back to the guard goes back to attention as you three walk away. And you're able to return to the hotel with minimal issues. Not many people are out. There are a few stragglers, some people just soliciting and drinking or trying to get home. But you get back to the hotel and you get back up to your rooms with no issue. How do you
Nice.
all settle in for the night?
I drop Yip Yap off at his room, and then basically do what I continually do now that I've come back to life. Stand on the rooftop and brood at the moon. I am vengeance.
Moons. There's multiple.
Moons. Yes. My brain is still fuzzy, so I see them merging together.
Pardon me.
Bless.
I know what
Allergies.
Isaiah's doing.
Yes, he's just dying in the corner.
You see, it's the dust from Fireball.
Yep. Is there like a wash basin in our rooms?
Yes.
Yip Yap will spend his night, his time before bed, thoroughly cleaning his poor plushie that has been now recovered.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Isaiah will continue to just study his books, see if there's anything of note, work on some spells, mess around with the dragon's egg a little bit. Oh, and I am going to have my crow just sort of fly around outside, seeing if anything's going on.
Okay. Your crow doesn't really spot anything. Actually, roll a perception for your crow. I'll put this up.
Rip.
Whoa.
Doesn't really see much. Just some few people milling around, making their way backs.
Gotcha. Well, yeah. Then I guess it's studies and sleep.
So you all manage to fall asleep pretty easily. There's a lot on your minds, but nothing really keeps you up, and no dreams really interrupt your sleep. Balgroth, you, however, you don't have any dreams, but while you sleep, you get these flashes of memories that you don't quite recognize, but they're too fuzzy and you're too far into REM sleep to really notice them or take note of them.
Hmm.
And you all wake up the next day, ready to continue on this adventure.
I
I
ensure
feel
all
s-
my stuffed animals are still there.
that crow. The no that chicken starts crowing, and then suddenly you hear a roof tile go right past it. And then you hear me chuckle from the rooftop
Did
as I go down to check in on everyone.
you actually sleep on the roof?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Every single night.
I'll never get tired of those jokes.
Mm. Mm.
But anyway, how's everyone doing?
I'm feeling quite refreshed, actually. How about you?
Oh, I'm good. Just hit a rooster.
Oh,
Ooh, is it edible now?
I don't know. I can't reach it. I threw it. I threw a tile at it.
so he's not sealing so good.
Go back in your room, Yap. So what's the plan for today? Of course, we have this. For some reason, we brought this new curfew out. So, what are we going to do to find this traitor?
I guess we could ask the new curs that they've
Well,
allotted a few of. Given a few of. Allotted is not in my vocabulary.
Isaiah, what are you and I going to do?
perhaps now this may be a very aggressive tactic, but we could try to sneak into the castle covertly and
Oh,
investigate.
oh! I'm not sneaking.
You say aggressive, but then say sneak in the same sentence. I don't. I think your and my definition of aggressive is not the same.
Well, in
You're,
terms of diplomacy, it's quite aggressive. Yeah,
you've
Yeah.
clearly not. You've
What if
clearly
you
not. Huh? Sorry. Yes.
speak?
I was simply saying that I sneak aggressively.
Ah,
Hmm.
well, would you be willing to potentially sneak around the castle tomorrow night after curfew? See if you could see anything suspicious?
Okay.
Volgroff,
Yes.
perhaps I could turn you into a newt, and you could also be secretive.
The last time you put magic on me, I died.
Temporarily.
You
But I
know,
see your point.
I'm kind of like a really overgrown newt if you think about it.
Looks around, notices there's no tail to test his theory. Ah, well. Interesting.
That's
Well,
the name.
that's
Don't wear it out.
we can certainly invoke that if necessary. Any other ideas?
Don't you have? Can't you cast invisibility?
Yes.
Why don't we use that?
Well, because you're going to ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk around in your armor. And even if they can't see you, they'll be able to feel you.
Not if I simply move around them.
No, I mean, they'll feel the thudding.
I could go without my armor.
Perhaps, yeah.
Of
Well-
course, that would also leave me incredibly vulnerable. Why don't you do it?
Well, no, if you two think you could sneak in tonight, I'd be happy to run interference.
I can sneak.
Hmm.
Now, the key to good sneaking is day drinking. Have you ever tried that?
I don't think I
Which
can
one
get
is
drunk
that?
anymore.
Isaiah, how could you rob him of one of life's greatest pleasures?
Yeah, Isaiah.
Listen, I had no idea you entering the room was going to do. Did I have you help? I didn't know that you helping me was going to cause such an issue. It was not
know-
clearly spelled out in the warnings page that was missing.
If we're smart about this, I can be invisible at night, but he could maybe attune to the same thing, and I could just, be sneaky deaky.
All right.
That might actually be a good plan.
Although it makes me invisible, it doesn't make me silent.
Well, you're fairly sneaky. Oh, you mean for Balgroth?
He's fairly squeaky.
True. Well,
Hmm.
Oh. Do we have any non-squeaky armor for him?
I could cast mage armor, but I think it would still be a downgrade for him.
It'd still be enough. I mean, we're not going in there to fight. And
Plus, he is used to
even-
downgrades from you.
And plus, even without my armor, I'd still be able to probably kill anyone who stands in my way, even if
Yeah.
I'm caught.
Or give him a heart attack.
That's also true. I could just go around without my mask.
Yeah.
Very well. Then tonight we can try that. But what should we do before then?
Wait. Are we doing this tonight or tomorrow night?
Tonight.
Tonight.
Oh, okay. Pretty sure that's not what you
I
said before.
said tomorrow night. I don't know why I said that.
Time
now,
isn't real. Don't worry about it.
Now, I do need to find some Goswars to get their totem carvings.
What?
You remember my book that was stolen?
Not like I cared, but yeah.
Yes, and
That zesty salesman insists that I buy it with authentic currency. So I need to
authentic.
find Goswars and trade and somehow get them to give me totem carvings.
Well, do you know where they are so you won't waste my time in going around the entire city looking for them?
No, I don't even know what a Goswar is, Belgroth.
And
Well,
my time is already wasted.
Do you know what they are?
Heck no.
Are they
Well,
real?
Isaiah
I
and
guess.
Balgroth, you can roll a history check to see if they're real.
Yip try to roll to see if he knows.
Sure.
What would Yip roll?
Just
I
history.
think history, I guess.
It's the closest thing to knowledge or memory we have.
Modify memory.
Okay.
I know things.
I slightly know things.
Yip.
How does he know things more than me?
Oh, it's such a shame because Yip
And he has a negative too.
Yip. So we'll start from the bottom. Yip
You should have known this.
Yip grew up in a continent where these creatures are not prevalent. So you would know nothing about these creatures. You've never heard this word before. Isaiah, from what you saw in the book and what you kind of know from your various like nature classes that you had in school, a goswer is a sort of living tree that is able to move around in its adolescence, but it stays stagnant as it grows older. And these creatures form forests out of their colonies. But you have never seen one, and you've never seen a map of one. So you wouldn't know where to find one. And Balgroth, you know vaguely of these, not myths, but like campfire stories of walking trees that can talk and sing. But that's about it.
Well, I suppose that's a wash then, because I don't think there will be any around. Wouldn't know where they are, but I don't think they live near the ocean. This is
If they
outrageous.
would, people would be talking about them. Especially with these, like, to me, they're the equivalent of fairy tale creatures. So, you
Fairy
wouldn't
tale
normally find them.
I don't know fairy bad tales.
Yeah, it depends on the fairy.
Oh.
Or the fae.
I try to stay away from those. If you're ever in the forest and you see it's too bright, don't go there. There's a fae on that site.
And just don't tell anyone your name.
I tell everyone my name.
You
Don't do it in the woods.
Well, I suppose at some point I'll have to go back to get the wand I ordered. But prior to that, any errands either of you need to do?
I'm good.
Well, most of the armor that's around here isn't going to be better than the one that I already have. So, I just said we keep looking for this traitor.
Well, all right, how do we look?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because we've looked at the dogs. We've looked most of the time around the city. The only place where we haven't looked at is what was it? That asylum?
Yes. The issue is we don't even know what sort of traitor we're looking for. We just know there's someone who works for Para that has infiltrated the royal family.
Wait,
Well,
when
you
did we
know
get a
me.
name for who hired him?
That would
Like
probably be a good thing to
6 months
find
ago.
out. But you know me. Any traitor is a dead one.
Okay, so we know that there's two separate things. There's the king who maimed the grandfather and probably had help, and then there's also Para's person who has infiltrated the royal family. May be related, may not.
Hara. Okay, I heard Hara.
Para with a P, like these ops.
Hara.
Now we perhaps it would be someone who's new. We could investigate that.
Ooh.
Recent? I mean, like, I guess. But shouldn't since the king have left, or since the prince had left, his the son, not the actual grandfather, the son of the grandfather, his father. How long has it been since he's left?
Uh, I don't know.
Could it
Month?
also be someone working for him? If it's only been like between a year and a few months, then couldn't it be someone who is closely associated with him?
It wouldn't surprise me, but yeah, that's a good idea. Check to see who is close. Well, everyone's close to the old king, though. I would hope. I would imagine.
Mm,
Well, perhaps though he had confidants or a right hand man.
because he couldn't have done it alone.
Hmm.
I think we should go and interrogate within the castle.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
not yet. What do you think?
Go for it.
Nice.
mm,
So we go into the castle, we line everyone up and see if anyone, or we get with the prince and see who is loyal to his father.
Yes. I think that's a reasonable set of questions. Probably not line everyone up. That's a bit on the nose.
Fine. We'll get things done quicker,
Perhaps, perhaps.
but we should probably get going then, if we don't want to lose daylight.
I could charm some people.
You have charm.
Well, some say that.
No comment. I meant the spell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Potato, tomato, yip yap. Let's go to the castle.
Okay.
Isn't tomato a kind of poison?
Okay. So, as you leave the hotel, the sun is shining very brightly over the kingdom through small wisps of cloud, and folks of many variety leisurely walk around the streets. You notice today that there is a distinct lack of Vezin-drawn carriages, though people are still using horses. And as you walk down the street, you pass a bulletin board that you have passed a few times already, but previously there's been nothing on it. Now there are several wanted posters pinned for view. Balgroth, because of your situation, you have a sort of detect magic on your eyes naturally, and you can
Mhm.
tell that these posters are enchanted. You're not sure how or why, but you can tell that they are.
Hmm. I
And
go and investigate.
cool.
I
I'm
go and take
assuming
a
the
look
others
at all.
follow.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, cool. So, it's not important. The pictures are sort of abnormal to wanted posters you've seen before. They're not drawings of the perpetrators. They seem to be the last, like, they seem to be a taken in the moment sort of picture with color and kind of slight movement, but not much really moving.
Hmm.
Two posters are of Limrius folk, a young man, as far as you can tell, and the other is an older Limrius. You can tell by the graying feathers in his hair and beard. And in both of these pictures of them, they are frozen mid flight. You don't recognize either of them really. But both are wanted for grand alcohol theft. The young man is called Ward, and the older one is called Romst. And the reward for Ward, why did I do that? Is 100 gold pieces alive, and the reward for Romst is 1,000 gold pieces alive and 500 gold pieces dead.
Well then, that looks like a pretty thirsty bounty. Are there any other ones on there too?
Yes. Another poster depicts a dwarf smiling, sort of towards the source of the photo. He is wanted for cons, swindling people out of their money. And
Hmm.
he's wanted for just 10 gold pieces alive. His name is put down as Grimrum Tuddig.
Hmm.
Now,
Um,
yes,
does Balgroth explain the wanted posters to the party, particularly the illiterate member?
right. You can't read.
You see the
All right,
numbers.
so
You,
there's two
you don't have to
posters
argue
here.
there.
There's two posters here. One for to Limrius that well, no, I'll start with the smaller one. There's one here for a dwarf who is wanted for con men for being a con man. You know, it's only like 10 gold pieces. But there's this one other for it's two Limrius.
Oh, what they do?
Um, theft of alcohol.
Oh, how dare they?
So it's for the older guy, it's like 1,000 gold pieces alive, 500 dead, and then the other I think is like 100 alive, one
Do you
hundred
think
gold pieces alive.
we get to keep the alcohol?
The con artist is 10 gold alive.
Yeah, I don't think we'll probably worry about the con artist. This other one seems
Ward's
interesting.
100, and Romst is 1,000 or 500, depending on
Yeah,
how you bring them in.
I kind of want them both dead, but I think we should probably prefer them alive.
You just kill someone for stealing a couple bottles of booze.
Maybe.
I mean, this is grand theft alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is GTA.
Literal GTA.
Uh,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know about you, but this is tempting. What do you guys think?
I'd
Sounds
be
good.
open to it. Do we
We
know where
can
they
we
are?
yeah we can definitely add that to our quests upon the side.
Basically, Volgroth sort of takes the page from the announcement board and begins to investigate whether or not there was a last seen location.
as you take it off the bulletin board, there's another one beneath it. Um, and there's nothing else written on the. You took the two Limrius ones, or just one
Mhm.
of them. There's no like because of the picture and how you can like make out what they look like effectively by the color of their feathers and their outfits. There's no description or a last seen location.
Mhm.
But you can tell because of how the picture is framed that they are in separate parts of the city. One is seems to be in a nicer part of town. The older one seems to be in a nicer part of town, and the younger seems to be near the shore. Not necessarily the docks, but there's a shoreline with some boats behind him.
Mhm.
And there are two other posters on the board.
I also look at the other two.
The fourth poster that is pinned up is a very familiar face. Familiar because you met him very recently. You recognize Jay, that mysterious fishman you briefly spoke with. Pictured walking out of the chapel with his ivory peg leg sort of shimmering in the setting sun, as you can tell by the shadows. This poster is different from the other three. The parchment is much thicker, more official looking, not as faded, and is stamped with the royal seal at the bottom, along with the symbol of the chapel. And the bounty is 10,000 gold pieces, dead or alive, with this description written underneath. A fishman of green skin and ominous blue markings was seen leaving the chapel in possession of the Grand Seer's seashell. It is highly presumed that this fishman preemptively targeted and attacked the Seers. He was last seen wearing a dirty brown cloak and a peg leg made of bone protruding below the right knee.
Huh. They didn't see that coming.
Um, as I pick at the description, um, the sigils on Balgrot's armor begin to glow, and almost begin to burn red hot.
Ooh.
Uh, and
All right, you
Balgrot's,
okay?
Balgroth sort of grips um, uh, basically grips the warning poster even harder and almost rips it off of the board.
Oh,
What is a sacred seashell, Balgroth?
It is basically probably would need to roll a religion check for this, wouldn't I?
Yes, Balgroth, you would roll religion. I don't think Isaiah would ever really learn about this, given he doesn't frequent this side of the continent very much.
A holy seashell.
I mean,
Okay.
they still got two, right?
I'm thinking it refers to it's related to like the vast, if I'm not mistaken.
So, Balgroth, from your religious studies after you got out of jail and you were taught the ways of the Tellurian and the primordials in general, um, you learned that each primordial has a priest or a set of priests or a group of priests, however many have you. The vast has its seers, these two women that you heard of before. And the way that they communicate with the vast is through this enchanted seashell that was given to them by the deity as a sort of knighting ceremony.
I basically relay this information and I say, imagine if anyone took away our connection to the Tellurian, the entire religion would fall apart.
Why are you mad about the vast?
It's not specifically about the vast, it's about the concept in and of itself. Yes, the gods fight amongst one another, but there is still an honor in relation to their religions. And so if one ends up getting an unfair advantage over the other, it is destructive.
Would you say getting iced by some adventurers constitutes having an unfair disadvantage imposed upon a god?
He made me in his own image.
I believe it.
Sure.
Hmm.
So, if anything, from what it seems to me, this seems to be the will of the gods. Vengeance must be taken.
I like vengeance.
I don't know. He seemed like an alright guy to me.
We are the hands of vengeance, after all.
He was a fish. Maybe he felt like he deserved it.
I do like fish. They're very tasty.
He might be a fish, but he does not stand against the might of a god. And now he stands against the will of the gods.
Do you feel bad about having taken his money?
No.
Of course not.
It's a
Well,
means to an end. So
He
first
looked
I shall
into your
take his
mind.
money, and
There
now I shall
is
take his
another
life.
poster.
what is the other
pinned up.
one? I'll take a look at that one. Well, he fumes.
Well, the other ones are the ones I mentioned previously.
Okay.
The two Limrius, the dwarf, and Jay. So this is the last new poster that was put up on the board. And it is of the same kind of parchment used for Jay, without the chapel stamp. It is a very dark picture of a humanoid standing at the edge of a deep slate wall with a storm raging around them. This happened at night, you could probably surmise. And it's hard to make out any discerning details aside from the dim glow of these lines across their arms, chest, and legs. The name at the bottom of this poster reads Abzu. And following that is another description. It says wanted, dead, 100,000 gold pieces. A fishman imprisoned for the murder. Oh, hold on. All right, cool.
Well, you mentioned Storm. I can't get it out of my head now.
That's fair. A fishman imprisoned for the murder of Elysium court member and Radiance priestess Sek Kanos escaped from the maw. Any tips of where to find this man will be rewarded greatly. He can be identified by his light green skin, pustules around the neck which emit a deep purple glow, and the detector coral attached to his lower right leg. And at the end of that is a stamp used for the signature, depicting a simplistic icon of an open shark's jaws. And below that poster, carved into the bulletin board, in thieves' cant, is a small message.
What does this say?
Yip Yap
Yip Yap.
can see that it reads, Kings will kneel to the gods.
Kings will kneel to the gods.
That
What?
we are in agreement.
Why would you
This
say that?
also, I mean, this, to be fair, with Thieves' Camp, this could also read, High people fall down holy.
You mean that they're filled with holes? I can.
Well, no, well,
This
okay, so that
wonder is
means, so
fine
that's
with
like the,
making holes.
so that's like the Thief Camp symbol for a church right there. So
Hmm.
in context, it's clearly like kings will bow down to the gods, but it could also be translated high people fall in front of church.
Nerd.
Right.
Sideways fish in a birdcage.
Yeah, this is real. Anyway, I'm not sure we're up to the 100,000 bounty.
I want
But-
both.
Balgroth.
What?
If they're putting 100,000 on this person, he's probably very powerful. We want to be careful.
Or they just really want him and they're really lazy. Like,
You say very powerful, and you think that's going to intimidate me.
What kind of bounty do you think you would get if you went rogue, Balgroth?
I don't know. It's going to be a lot.
Like 30
oh, he's
gold,
worth at least
50 gold maybe?
Probably more than him.
he's worth at least this many. Probably a lot more.
More than one.
About $100.
What's $1?
Well, in any case, let's. Well, I'll tell you what.
I
If we
think you
see
must
him,
say doll
we'll
hair.
assess in the moment.
I'm staring at the one that I already took down, sort of halfway hoping that my hunter's mark would have worked on the image that I see, but technically, like just looking at a picture is not technically him being in range.
Yeah.
I'd like to think you successfully hunter's marked the paper.
The paper is now my quarry. I get advantage on perception checks on him, on it.
You're a speed reader on that paper now.
I roll a nat 1 and it completely disappears.
All right. So,
So,
unless we have a way of going about finding these miscreants, I suppose we could go to a bad part of town and check the taverns.
sure.
With that, let's take a break.
So, I got this. I got Pickthal's translation.
The Holy Quran.
I also got the Scrivener's New Testament.
Nice.
Okay, well.
Guess what is not at the bottom of any of these pages?
Footnotes.
Correct.
Is that
I
a
am a
big deal for
genius.
Scrivener?
Kannst du sie glauben?
Is that a big deal for Scrivener or not a footnotes or?
I mean, critical notes are pretty important.
Hmm.
Oh, is it like a reader's Greek New Testament?
I don't know the difference between a reader's Greek and the regular.
Well, so like you can have a Bible, right, without footnotes in it because it's especially like textual critical ones because you're just basically trying to read it. Or you can have something like the NET, which is more footnote than Bible.
Well, this doesn't give any reason why it wouldn't have other than I don't know why Scrivener would have put footnotes because he just went with the King James reading.
Yeah. So is it the TR?
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody else noticed that Queso has an absolutely awesome singing voice?
Queso, the big fella?
Yeah,
No, I've not noticed that.
he
I
has
have
an
no clue.
absolutely awesome singing voice.
I believe it.
I
I
have
love
no
the one
clue who
where
you're.
the guy takes the judge that got jumped on and like puts queso there. So funny. Have you seen that one? You're done. You're guilty forever, locked up, banned from every platform.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Oh, there's a awesome gamer out there called Queso. People make fun of him for being fat, but he has an absolutely awesome singing voice, in my opinion. I also posted a YouTube video out, my sermon from this Sunday, of the first Sunday in Lent, and apparently I have a good singing voice too.
Well, that was known.
Are you sure? Have I sung to anyone before?
In Jesus, my Savior, forever.
Have I actually sung that song before?
It's literally on TikTok. I duetted you and played guitar.
Oh, well then.
Yeet.
That's
Now,
oh my goodness. How long ago was that?
Dude, it was too long, man. That was like 4 years ago.
Jeez.
For some
I
reason,
feel
my YouTube algorithm keeps sending me videos of Miro, and like I don't know what it's thinking. If like it thinks I've had a major change of interest, or if it's trying to narrow me down. But I'm like, what are you doing?
Probably. What are you showing us?
He's
This is
advertising his book.
This is the cover
Oh.
for my book.
Oh
This
Is
yeah.
it saying not for resale?
Yeah, because this is the proof. This is the proof printing.
Ah,
Which
Nice, dude.
I did change one thing. I changed the sentence. You can contact me my Gmail to you can contact me by Gmail.
probably a good one, yeah. Or at least at my Gmail, you know.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how this design came out.
It looks like a James White book.
Why don't
That classic Reformed Baptist reader right there.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, of all the things that I said about myself on the back of this book, I did not. Well, actually, okay. To be fair, in it I do actually discuss that I'm a Calvinist because that's part of dealing with the issues of King James onlyism is that they're caustically anti-Calvinist, but also accept the translation by 5-point baby sprinkling Anglicans.
What?
They're the worst.
I literally zoned out for a little bit until I heard baby sprinkling Anglicans.
Yeah, those the translators of the King James Bible.
Yes, they were.
And I talk about it in here because King James onlyists are often highly anti-Calvinist, but they are the translators of their book.
Yeah, they were more than slightly Calvinistic, 39 articles holding, almost canons of Dort holding, baby sprinkling Anglicans.
Jacob Arminius was almost canons of Dort holding Jeremiah.
The 5 articles of Arminianism actually aren't that bad, other than the 2 points where they divert from sound. It's the funniest thing of how it's their thing about limited atonement, denying it, but then for denying eternal security, they literally are just like, hey, we believe this, but we should really investigate the Bible to be sure before we preach it.
Mm-hmm.
The Arminians are 4-point Calvinists. It's like that's probably not the best term to use to mean.
Actually, they're 3. According to the article, as per the articles, they're 3-point.
Technically 3-point.
Yeah, I mean,
something like a general, a general Reformed Anglican, or someone who is similar to like a William Laud or someone like a Caroline Divine would be something like a 4-point Calvinist. Someone like John Davenant, for example. I would technically put him as a 5-point Calvinist. But since he defines sort of limited atonement in a different way than most modern Calvinists would, he's technically slapped in as a 4-point Calvinist, or even worse, an Emeraldian. But look at his dude. Look at this dude with a scally cap and a bow tie. Look at him stealing my style. I'm kidding.
Come on, you guys know social media Brad style.
It's merely an improvement upon James White's style.
Right. Oh, hold on. Give me 1 second. Melinda Britt's calling me.
Sneaky Link is trying to get on Jeremiah's camera.
It's a light read. It's only 35 pages.
What do you think the overlap is amongst people that watch D&D streams and like people that want to learn about Bible translation controversies?
So small.
I'd say higher than you think.
Still so small.
Agreed, but
I mean,
I think there's like possibly a second digit on that number. That's all.
No.
Steven, what is your book retailing for?
$13.
It's quite an unlucky number. You should add a Hobbit.
Gives me a $5.50 profit. So.
Oh, we're profiting now. Oh my goodness.
I mean, to be fair, technically, it didn't cost me anything to make this, so it is a profit. Any amount is a profit, really.
Jonah was a prophet.
Ooh.
But he really never got it.
Sad but true.
He did not get the point.
You'll understand. I'll show you that movie.
Okay.
We will watch many VeggieTales.
That's a great honeymoon activity right there. VeggieTales and chill.
Jeez.
The pirates may not be doing anything. However, a newly married couple. Quite different.
Did you know they made a Minnesota Cuke video game?
What?
VeggieTales did a parody of Indiana Jones called Minnesota Cuke.
I did not know that. No.
None of those words are in the Bible.
No, they're not.
That's true. Now, was this VeggieTales or VeggieTales in the House that did this?
The good Veggie Tales, excuse you.
Well,
Oh wow, that's
not
hilarious.
being VeggieTales in the house doesn't make it good VeggieTales. Like Lord of the Beans, no.
What do you mean Lord of the Beans isn't good?
Excuse you, yeah. It's
Lord of the
it's
Beans
the
is pretty
one.
awesome.
It's as far as I know, it's the only media adaptation that has Tom Bombadil.
And Minnesota Cuke is awesome.
And this is a video game.
Oh yeah,
The only problem with it, it's a
I tried
platform.
I tried to play the video game on my like back when I was like, oh geez, I don't even remember when. I think it was like when I first got a computer, and we got the Minnesota Cuke video game, but I never managed to work it. And I've never
It's
been good at computer video games either.
it
I
is
like
so
the Online
difficult.
Sumos of Japan VeggieTales video game. That was a fun one.
It is so difficult because it's a platformer.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's weird to make VeggieTales an actual good platformer. The only time they did it was in like Larry
No,
Boy, the video
please
game.
don't give us this nerd D&D stuff. We're talking about VeggieTales computer games.
Okay, getting back to the game. You
Roll for
guys,
the hand.
what do you guys want to do? You want to go to like, you want
Tavern.
to hunt down these wanted people?
Sure, why not? Let's go to the bad part of town. What could possibly
Tavern site. Oh, you are going to take me
could
up on
go
day
wrong?
drinking.
What could possibly go wrong?
This is such a gentrified bounty hunting effort. Let's go to
To
the
the
bad part of town. That's probably where these people are. I'll bet
to,
they're
to the
poor and
to
nasty
the
and dirty.
to the to the tavern, you say? So you are taking me up on the day drinking.
So while you're walking through the streets, for as long as you've been here, you haven't really. There's no worse part of the kingdom. It all seems pretty standard. Nothing is built lesser than another building, and no people seem to, aside from just style differences. There's not really a difference in clothing. While you are walking, you pass by, not in front of the castle, but the castle is a central piece in this kingdom. So you walk past it at one point during your search for this fabled bad part of town. And as you're walking by, you. What are your guys' passive perceptions?
Terrible.
Okay.
Hold up. Mine's like 14.
10.
Okay. Isaiah, you notice the doors to the castle sort of fly open, the large entrance doors. And a young man, you can't really make out, he is wearing a similar aesthetic to what Jacoby was wearing during the previous times you met him. And he runs down the stairs and comes to a stop in the middle of this road. Kind of looks up at the sky and seems to sort of shake his head to himself before not running now, but hurriedly walking towards the direction of the docks. And as you notice this moments later, Jacoby himself comes running out and looks around, supposedly for the one who just left.
I'm going to walk up to Jacoby. Oh, good sir. What brings you out here?
Before you do I see him? Do I see him walking away? The first guy walking away.
Well, you notice Isaiah leaving. You didn't really see any of that beginning bit.
Okay, I ask Isaiah. Isaiah, where are you going? What are you looking at?
Talking to Jacoby.
Why?
Jacoby, are you looking for someone?
The prince composes himself when he notices Isaiah approaching and sort of just raises a hand in greeting. Oh, hello. It's pleasant to see you again. I was just looking for my younger brother. He ran out.
Hmm. Is everything all right? Is he safe?
Oh, yes, he's fine. He's prone to outbursts. He has a very short temper. He just needs some time to calm down, and he'll be back. I just hope he stays safe. It's very nice to see you again. Are the others with you?
Yes. Balgroth, yip yap.
Yo.
Stand straight.
Ah,
Is
I
there,
see.
is there any other way to stand?
No comment.
What have you fellows been up to?
We've been trying to do our diligence to keep the kingdom safe. We actually just got these, found out about these new bounties, and we're going to see if we can come to collect. But you seem to be engaged in something, dear Prince. What seems to be the problem?
Oh, you're going after those criminals? Oh, I wouldn't want you men to tire yourselves out with that. We have the city guard for that. Please, it's no issue, I promise. As for myself, I've just. He sort of like puts a hand to his head. I've been having these family quarrels as of late with my brothers.
Any reason? Well, why is that? Is it just because you guys disagree on what to do with the king, or?
Oh, no, we don't disagree about grandfather. My youngest brother, he he's still coming into his own. He is a strong young man, but he's still growing up. And Valen, my second youngest brother, he is very hard-headed, I should say. We all are, but
I
Valen
mean,
is Valen.
I mean, Valen is a very strong name. Sounds like something you'd name a mighty city.
Hmm.
Mm.
So that's what he wishes the city were called.
Really?
Oh my.
But what what causes your well?
So was
What do
that
you guys
Valen who went
do?
to the docks, or no?
You don't know. Oh, yeah, he said it was Seth.
Oh, okay.
The dogs. Why the dogs?
Uh, Seth has a personal boat. He goes fishing, I believe, to sort of isolate himself and calm down.
Hmm.
You know what I do to
Says
calm down?
Interesting.
I drink.
so, just out of curiosity, how close was he to his dad?
Well, growing up, we were all very close to our father. Um, Seth being the youngest, he was coddled a bit by our parents, I suppose.
Hmm.
But I wouldn't say any of us were more or less pampered than the other. We were all given the same amount of attention and love.
Hmm. Did your father talk to you about anything, like, or particularly to him, especially about his gripes against his father, the king?
My father, when I was younger, would spin fantastical tales about what it would be like when I take the throne as the eldest. He spoke fondly of grandfather, which is why it was such a
Hmm.
terrible surprise when he did what he did.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I imagine it was.
So none of your brothers, you wouldn't suspect any of them would have had a hand in helping your father?
Oh, no, we were all shocked and horrified when we found out the next day what happened to grandfather and the boat missing, everything. It's not a pleasant memory I like looking back on, mind you.
Hmm. Well, if there was a boat missing, wouldn't your brother often goes to the docks? Um, do you think he might have seen something?
Seth isn't very observant, especially when he's having his isolated fishing. If he does keep track of some dock records, if anyone would know of a royal ship leaving and its whereabouts, I suppose he would, or at least the dock master would.
Well, then, friends, I think we have our next place to go. Uh, I definitely think we should at least try to look. Uh, hey, if we find someone to bring in a bounty along the way, then the more the merrier.
Can you three all roll insight for me?
Okay, roll.
This GIF is hilarious. I can't stop watching it.
Me neither. I'm trying to figure out where it's from.
It looks familiar. Okay. Um, Yip Yap,
Uh-huh.
as you're talking with the prince. When Balgroth mentions or alludes to going after Seth to talk with him, you notice that Jacoby's smile that he has, this very natural and pleasant smile, sort of twitches for a second before immediately going back to what you understand to be his natural face.
Oh.
If you fellows want to go to the docks, of course, you are always welcome to. If you want to hunt down these criminals, you are welcome to. Although it would be wrong of me to say that you shouldn't, because your time you spend here is of your own accord. I am only asking for your help in certain situations, but that does not mean I own all of your time. So, during your stay here, do as you please.
Thank you.
Yep, yep, which drink are you drinking?
I'll say for this one, I'm drinking the magic one.
Okay, can you roll a D100?
Oh boy.
100.
Whoa!
A nat 100.
That's really cool.
It just says the player dies.
Game over.
Yep, yep, keels over, turning into stone. Yep, yep, you're not. No, yeah, nothing happens.
Interesting.
Nothing at all happens.
Has
Crippling
Jacoby
indigestion.
walked? Is Jacoby out of earshot yet?
Have you guys walked away yet?
Jacoby, have a lovely day. We'll be in touch.
I hope you have a lovely day as well.
Balgroth bows
You know what?
respectfully.
While I'm walking away, I want to shoot a quick ¿Dónde está? Boop.
A wall of text.
Jesus.
Mind sliver.
Image. Cast the spell.
Once we're out of earshot, I just go. So when you talked about going to find his brother, he kind of dropped his smile for a split second.
So Isaiah, you detect the surface thoughts of Jacoby, and he's mostly just thinking about Seth and where he could be, what he could be doing. Nothing else aside that, really, on the surface.
Okay. I will. I'll allow it for now. Let's move on.
So where are you guys going?
To the docks
To the docks.
once more.
All right. Um. Yep. For posterity's sake, what did you say before?
Once we were out of earshot, I told him, like when you mentioned looking for his brother, his smile dropped for a split second.
I wonder why that is. Does he
Are you sure?
suspect something of his brother?
I'd like
I
to
mean-
have my crow tail the prince.
Okay, the prince has gone inside the palace, and he's um. Roll a stealth check for your crow. As you all walk to the docks with Isaiah effectively blind, I guess.
I'm not looking through his eyes. I'm just having him tail him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, your crow follows him through the castle for now. As you walk towards the docks, you pass by the dockmaster shed structure toll booth. You still have your fishing license, so you're able to walk past. The dockmaster doesn't seem to be in there as far as you can tell. And there's not a lot of traffic happening at the docks at this early hour. There are some sailors moving about, getting ready to sail off. There are some just fishermen milling about, buying things.
Do we see the prince or other prince anywhere or a ship out?
Roll a perception, Balgroth. You have disadvantage.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh gosh.
Oh no.
We'll wait for Yip Yap to get back. Maybe he has his cobalt eyes.
And now he can't use his crow. Now he can't use his crow to have advantage because it's
Oh no.
not here anymore. While we're waiting on Yip Yap, is the ledger easy to see?
Yeah, as you walk past the toll booth, the window is open, and inside, just kind of sitting on his little desk, is the ledger.
I poke my head in to grab the ledger and look at
Okay.
it.
Heath Ledger?
Before you do that, Yip, can you roll a perception check, please?
I can sure try.
Okay.
Wow.
Yip, you see that the dockmaster is not within earshot, but you recognize him by his sort of roundish frame, standing a few docks down as Balgroth reaches in to grab the ledger. Balgroth, can you make a dexterity saving throw?
Okay.
Wait, what do I see him doing?
Well, so Yip, you see the dockmaster like a few docks down the way. Balgroth is reaching in to the toll booth to grab the ledger of the dockmaster. And Balgroth, as you go to do that, before your hand can even get to the book, a fire breaks out on the top of your hand. Not large, but your hand is on fire.
And Balgroth immediately starts swiping at his hand to try to pat out the fire. What in all that is?
Yeah. It goes out after patting at it.
What? Okay, what was that?
Clearly, there was a trap there. You shouldn't
Hmm.
steal things that don't belong to you, Balgroth. For reasons other than punishment, but still.
He looks at Yip Yap, then he looks at Isaiah, then he looks at Yip Yap, then he looks at Isaiah.
Yip Yap, take the book.
Oh, okay. I tried taking the book when the dock master is walking away.
Well, he's not walking away. He's just standing at one of the docks, sort of talking to someone else.
He's not looking in my direction, is he?
Nope.
Okay, I try.
So you can't reach the window of the toll booth.
I pick Yip Yap up and toss him in.
Oh, okay. So Yip Yap, inside of the toll booth, it is very sparse. It's very small, but not like crowded. There's just a desk and a chair, and on top of the desk is a ledger. Underneath the desk is a sealed box or vault sort looking thing. So you know that the trap is there because of Balgroth. So roll a dexterity saving throw with advantage to try and grab the book.
Oh, also, did I get inspiration at the beginning of the session?
Yes, you did.
Good to know. So, I'm rolling a dex save
Yes.
with advantage?
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Ah.
So, with your roguish instincts, you know that there is a sort of it's a magical trap that's placed on it, but you're able to swipe the book faster than the fire is able to catch onto your hands. And you have the book.
Oh. Fossil flies it out of the booth, and I scramble up the wall out of it.
Okay. So yeah, you guys have the ledger book for the docks now.
I begin to look through the ledger, trying to find the pretty much the last time, like one of the big royal ships left and never returned.
So these notes go back world cycles. It's a very thick binder of record. Seems he keeps it all in the same place.
Gross.
You can see the names of people that have taken boats out, have brought boats in, the days and times and the cargo of these boats. And you notice as you go further back into the book, the name Karis, the king, starts to show up in the ledger the further you go back.
Mm-hmm. And so I go back to the last time that the king's name was found in the book.
The last time the book mentions the king was several world cycles, like 4 or 5 ago. And he was, as far as the ledger says, taking a boat in from the shore with a cargo of dried meats from Nilith. And that page has that date from is a certain year 5 years ago with a certain month. The next record is the next year entirely.
I flip back and forth, like wondering if there's an entire page that's been written out or that's been taken out.
You're unsure. There's no like rip page left behind if something has been taken out. But there's no, um, there is no more mention of the king after that.
Hmm. I look for pretty much at around the same year, um, his son Seth, to see if any of them has been taken out in his name and have not left. I mean, that has not come home.
Seth seems to have. There's not many mentions of him in the ledger before his father, but after his father, there seems to be a almost weekly um, boat ride out and in under Seth's name with one of the royal boats.
Hmm. All right. Um, I'm going to keep the ledger with me.
Okay. You guys just tuck it under your arm.
Yeah,
Balgroth, may I take a look at that for a moment?
sure. And he hands the ledger over to Isaiah.
All right, I'm gonna skim through it, get the information I need, and then move on.
Okay.
My perfect memory.
Um, yap. From your perception check before, because you've been keeping an eye on him because you're stealing from him, you notice that the dockmaster is starting to make his way back to his booth.
Put the book back, Balgroth.
Our
Memorized
like
it.
this booth, this his booth or a different booth?
You're at his. You stole
You're
his
at-
ledger.
Yeah,
Guys,
right.
we could probably put that back and run.
Fine, and he drops it in Yip Yap's hands.
Sure.
Hey, you took it out. You put it back.
Fossil, fly back in there. Fossil takes it, puts it back.
Okay. Just as Fossil leaves the booth, the dockmaster is within earshot, and he says, what are you fellas doing around my booth? You already have your fishing license?
Oh, we were just looking to find where the prince is. We heard he generally comes around here just to sulk, I guess.
Um, all three of you roll an insight check. The dockmaster kind of clears his throat. Yes, the prince comes by here every now and then. All three of them do. Yip,
We are terrible at insight today.
yip. You can tell that he knows that you took the book out of his booth and put it back. All three of the princes come by every now and then for their boats.
When was the last time you saw the king? Well, the prince.
Jacoby?
Yeah.
Prince Jacoby comes by every now and then just to peruse the ledger along with his brother, Prince Valen.
Well, when was the last time you saw their dad?
I personally have not seen Karis for a while after his disappearance.
I would wonder, because apparently, from what the tale says, he stole a ship and was never seen again. Aren't you generally in charge of keeping, in charge of which ships come in and out of port?
Sounds like he didn't care as much about his kids.
You all noticed that with that question, the dockmaster kind of gets a bit angrier. Yes, that is my job.
Then how is it that you never saw him when you probably would have been the last one to see had he took a ship and left the docks?
Oh boy.
What were you doing that night?
Everyone has moments of weakness. He caught me off guard.
He caught you off guard.
Yes.
Explain.
A spell. I think sleep.
What made
So
you
he,
off guard?
so he escaped because you got a little bit drowsy and you didn't notice that a ship had been taken from port, or at least which one?
I didn't get drowsy. He cast sleep on me, took one of the boats, and that boat has not come back.
Which one?
One of the royal boats.
All right then. Well, we'll see if the sun has any more. See if Seth has any more helpful information. Thank you for your time.
We apologize for the inconvenience.
Of course you do. Get away from my booth.
As we walk away, Balgroth, why are you instigating?
Because it's fun.
Nose. Nose.
I don't want to make enemies amongst people during the middle of an investigation when it would become our word against someone else's.
Well, when it comes to people trying to protect the kingdom, we're the ones actively trying to do it.
I
If
believe
anyone
other
gets in
people
our
are too.
way, then that's their problem.
That is psychotic.
You think that that's a problem with me?
Yes. Unequivocally, yes.
I am the arbiter of vengeance. I do what needs to be done.
The arbiter, Balgroth.
Indeed. And you should be very well to remember that.
Arbiter.
Can you all roll investigation looking for the prince?
No.
Jesus.
Oh my goodness!
What?
Good night!
Clearly, my crow is like buffs my stats or something.
I know, but for some reason, your crow left and it descended upon Yip Yap. Goodness!
Reminding of that, Isaiah, are you checking in with your crow every now and then?
Yeah.
Okay. Your last check-in, the crow was sitting up on some sort of perch or railing, just watching Jacoby stand at this very large table with a map on it. And so Yip Yip, you don't know what Seth looks like.
No.
But you see somebody wearing the royal colors similar to Jacoby boarding a untethered ship ready to set sail.
Hey, look over there.
Oh, well, good eye, Yip Yap. How in
Thank
the
you.
world did
I have
we
two
not
of them,
see-
though.
How in the world did we not see it? He looks at Isaiah.
It's a good question.
I don't think I'm getting an answer anytime soon. Let's go get him.
The ship is leaving the dock.
Well,
Not quite gone yet, but is departing.
I guess I'll start walking towards it.
Okay.
Balgrot starts running towards it.
Okay.
Yep, starts running too.
So
Yep, also.
The only one with the ability to fly, just starts waltzing over there.
So this isn't like a big boat, but it's not just like a rowboat. It's a good sized boat that would require, well, not require, but what's the word I'm looking for? An unexperienced sailor would need people to help him out sailing this boat. At least two other people.
Schooner, probably.
Um,
I don't know about boats.
I don't know anything about boats, man.
I
But yeah,
played Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I know my boats.
Balgroth,
Crew's here.
as you run down the docks towards this boat, are you doing anything to get his attention or get on the boat that is leaving the dock?
How close am I to the prince?
So, Isaiah, are you running?
No, I'm casually strolling because it's not a big deal to me if the boat departs.
Okay. Balgroth, the dock is about 10 feet longer, and the boat is nearing the edge of the dock.
So
Isaiah.
it's within 90 feet.
Yeah.
You gonna hunter's mark him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I cast Hunter's Mark on him just so that we don't lose him.
Oh, I'm not going to lose him, Balgroth. You see, I'm gonna wait for the. I'm just gonna start walking down the dock.
Oh,
I I look at Isaiah. What are you doing? I'm trying to make sure we don't lose him. What are you doing?
I'm gonna keep walking. So is the boat at this point past the dock?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna walk to the edge of the dock, and I'm gonna not stop walking. A sec.
Cool, man.
You know, I've got to like be a little bit swag about it, yes. And I'm just gonna sort of like turn around and moonwalk off the dock into the air. Be right back, Balgroth.
Sometimes I hate you.
So, as the boat gets further away from the dock, it goes, as you follow it, the boat is moving a bit faster than you can fly. And
What
it
if
goes
I
about,
dash? So I move 120 feet.
all right, then, yeah, you can get on the boat, leaving Balgroth and Yip Yap there. And as the boat
Go
keeps,
get the wand. As I leave, like, get the wand that I bought.
as the boat continues moving outward, Isaiah, do you still have that tooth from Balgroth on you?
Yes. Oh no.
At roughly 30 feet away, Balgroth, you start feeling a very tight pulling in your chest as your body starts slowly being dragged towards the edge of the dock, towards the ship.
What?
huh?
What?
Balgroth,
What?
what's happening?
I don't know. I'm being dragged.
Yip tries pulling against.
Balgoth tries to take steps backwards, but he can't.
So get out and help! Fossil jumps out of my hood and starts pulling.
Oh.
Balgroth takes out. Well, I don't know which one. Which one can I actually bear to lose, or at least possibly lose? He takes out the necrotic battle axe, or no, not the necrotic battle axe, his great axe, and then just stabs the the bottom or the hilt into the ground to try to stop himself.
It sticks into the ground, but with your grip, it just starts dragging along with you.
He starts holding on to it with all of his might.
While that's happening, Isaiah, what are you up to as the boat's getting further and further away?
Stop this ship! Stop this ship!
Are you even aware that it's me at this point? Or you're just like, why am I being pulled? The sea calls to me, I guess.
No, I mean, it's
Well-
the only thing that I can surmise.
Balgroth, you know about the tooth thing. You know what it is.
Yeah,
And you didn't tell me about this?
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to. So who's on this boat right now? Is it just
Yeah.
Seth?
Seth is on. I'm assuming you landed at the end of the boat. Seth is on the other end of the boat.
I alight gracefully, like an angel upon earth.
Okay.
Stop
Um,
the boat!
blissfully unaware of like this guy is about to get water skied to me.
Foot by foot.
And and I'm gonna pardon me, young Master Seth, is it?
He sort of jumps and looks to you, like very surprised. Yes. Who are you?
Ah, Isaiah Yeager. You may have seen me around the castle recently.
Yes. Yes, I have with that. The half orc and the kobold, right?
Yes, yes. They're back at the docks now enjoying themselves. But
Stop this
we-
crap!
Seth kind
Oh.
of looks over, hearing the yelling. They're enjoying themselves.
Stop
yeah,
the
they tend to
show!
find a way. They're a bit, they have their moments, but they're good people.
Ah!
I'm sorry to intrude upon your serenity, but we couldn't help noticing that there was something that happened between you and Jacoby, and we've been investigating a number of very strange and dangerous occurrences in the area. So we wanted to make sure everything was all right.
Yeah!
Seth kind of rubs the bridge of his nose and walks away from the wheel of the boat, going down to drop the anchor to keep it still. And he looks back to Isaiah. My siblings and I don't really see eye to eye a lot. But that's family business.
I understand completely, and we would not have imposed except that your family's safety is of the utmost importance to us, and we would not want we would not want anything that would compromise anyone's safety to happen. We have reason to believe that there are remaining threats about the royal family.
By this point, the anchor has dug into the ground. The ship has stopped moving in Balgroth. You are able to get your bearings just on the edge of the dock.
Oh, thank the Tylorian!
Seth kind of leans against the banister. I don't know much about what happens in the castle. I don't spend much time in the castle. If there is something wrong happening, I don't know. I'm not told much.
That's all right. Do you have any insight on what might have happened? And I'm sorry to bring this up, but during the escape, your father's escape at the docks, there seems to be very little clarity on what actually happened.
Roll an insight check.
Hey.
When you bring that up, Seth tries really hard to keep his composure, but he is a young man. He seems younger than you, and you can see the sort of telltale signs of someone who is about to cry.
Young man, there's no need to feel down.
My father was a traitor, and that I don't like thinking about that night. I find it very rude that you would get on my ship and immediately just ask me about something like that.
I apologize. I meant no offense. Again, we are worried about imminent threats. And when we see a young prince going off to sea alone and after some sort of spat, with new curfews enacted and sadly some not publicized deaths recently, uh, we would rather be safe than sorry.
What do you mean by that?
Well, we discovered a woman who mm, was transmuted into some sort of tree and died.
You see the tears start going down his face. Really?
Yes.
Tree. What? What did the tree look like?
It appeared to be a tree of bone, I believe. It was a white where the bark would be, and
You're not from this. You're not from Miro, I'd assume.
no, I'm not from the area.
So you wouldn't know what a collie is.
No.
Those trees are. They sprout from the bodies of people who were betrayed in their death. At least around here, there seems to be a curse or something in the ground and the air. And
Interesting.
I can't do this. He starts mumbling to himself. Ah, I can't. Why are you and your friends here? Is it to help my family, or are you here for some other reason? Please be
No.
honest with me.
We came here because we were looking for leads on a very bad person, and that led us to your family, where we found that perhaps some underling or associate of the one we're looking for is threatening you, and both because we do want to find out who this is, and also to prevent the kind of damage they would do to people like you and your family, we've stayed around.
Why fly to my ship to talk to me? Just because I was going for a sail? Did my brother tell you to come after me, or did he tell you not to come after me?
He didn't say one way or the other. But what do you think he would say? Or would want? Or is that the problem?
Jacoby is the oldest. He is going to be king when Grandpa dies. Are you religious? Which do you worship a primordial?
The Tellurian.
What do you think I'm supposed to say, Jesus?
No.
The Tellurian. I want to help you and your friends. I very much do. But that requires you and your friends to come with me where I am going so that I can tell you what is going on and so that I can leave.
Very well. Where are you going?
There is an island not that far out from this cove. We call it Mel Isle. It is the border between this kingdom and the Undersea Kingdom. I do not want to turn my ship around to go back to the dock. Would it be possible for you to bring your friends here?
Absolutely. Can I tell by looking roughly where Mel Isle is?
Um, in the direction that the prince was going, very far off, you do see a island that kind of breaks apart the otherwise blue ocean.
Gotcha. I'm gonna walk all the way to the front of the ship just to get a really good look at it. Probably move a little farther away from the dock right now, but it's no big deal.
Stop the ship! It
and,
stopped! Oh, that's right, you're walking forward. Balgroth.
It's moving again!
yes.
Balgroth falls into the water.
Yeah. I can see where it is. I will.
You swim.
I don't know.
That's
Well, you
offensive.
fall into the water.
You are.
Oh gosh.
Just like
try
2
to
feet
swim.
from the dock, you're just in the water.
I guess. Well, I'm trying to hang on to the dock. I guess to the edge of the dock.
Okay. Yep. What are you doing?
I'm holding on to him.
Okay. I'll say
right,
that you haven't fallen into the water.
I would like to snap my crow to me and say, "This is my familiar. I'll have him follow you, so I'll be able to find you again."
All right.
Seth, we appreciate that you're willing to help us, and we will do whatever we can to help you. And with that, he's going to sort of just cross his arms and raise into the air.
Before you go,
Yes.
don't tell the dock master that you are going to meet me anywhere. Do not tell him where you're going.
I wouldn't
Say that you're going fishing.
Not a problem. All right. Until we meet again.
Cool. So you go back to the docks. Balgroth is no longer fighting for his life.
I'm fighting for my life here.
I'm fighting him up.
Don't fall.
I'm not trying to be rude. Balgroth, I see you were enjoying a nice swim.
You.
What?
You.
It's me, Isaiah.
I would, if I didn't have half a mind, request my tooth back.
Oh. Oh. I'm glad you're all right. My apologies. Yes. Anyway.
I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. What did the prince say?
Let's talk elsewhere.
Fine. Where to?
The inn.
All right. Sure. Whatever. He is busy trying to dry off the bottom part of his armor. As he just backs to the inn.
Okay.
Gentlemen, I think that Seth will be able to help us, but he wants us to meet him at Mel Isle in a nearby cove, and he wants us to be very discreet about going there. So I think tonight, after curfew, we go.
Oh, but tonight I was gonna sneak into the palace.
Well, this will be another advantage for you today. We'll be sneaking out of the kingdom.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do we know if you're allowed to sail at any hour, or is there like a no boats past?
You don't know. You could ask the dockmaster or a guard. It's about midday.
I see. I'm gonna go to the dockmaster.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be sort of tipping him off?
I know what to ask. Dockmaster,
Yeah. He was like sleeping. What? What?
um, is there an earliest that we're allowed to, or is there any restriction on the earliest we're allowed to set sail? I was hoping for perhaps for a sunrise fishing at some point.
Well, if you're looking to go in the morning, you're more than welcome to come here before sunrise. Curfew ends at around 3 a.m.
Oh, that's more than enough time. Thank you very much. And are we allowed to stay the night at sea?
Not on one of my boats.
That rules out the lunar cycling I was planning to do. Hmm. Very well. Thank you very much.
Have a nice day.
You. I'd like to go to the guy who's making me a fly wand.
Okay. You all walk back to that sort of area with vendors. And it takes a little bit, but you manage to find Alwed. He's sort of just playing his lute still.
Hello, my good man.
Hello. Oh, it's a pleasure to see all three of you again. I didn't think you'd bring your friends. Uh, the manner of your wand. It is done. It is ready. Do you have the payment?
I do.
May I see the payment?
Yes. Let me see what he said it would cost. Vendors, spell book. Oh gosh, was it like you didn't write it down or not in an obvious place? Was it like 250? I think.
I think around that, yeah.
All right, I'll pull out 250.
Okay. He kind of drops it down under his cart, but you don't hear it land anywhere. And he reaches under his cart and pulls out a sort of sky blue wand with feathers carved into it.
Ooh.
Nice.
Your wand. It has 3 charges of the spell you requested, and that goes for a day at a time.
Excellent. Well, it was a pleasure doing business with you. I would like to cast Identify on it, just so I'm convinced of its authenticity.
It does as he says so.
Excellent.
Is there anything
This-
else I can help you fellows with?
I think we'll be all right. Have a lovely day.
Have a gleaming day.
Yes. All right. Now, Balgroth, the real question is, do we bring Sylvester and the dragon's egg or leave them here? Yip Yap, what do you think?
I mean, why would we take them with us?
What if we don't come back? Or what if there's something marvelous there we could use them for?
What would you intend to bring a dragon's egg for, or an octopus?
Also, I really hope we come back. I have unfinished business elsewhere.
And I still want to get that bounty.
Yeah, we're bound to hunt.
The gods cry out for vengeance.
Well, I suppose then. Well, I suppose we can leave them here, but let's prepare for tonight. It was that place that we saw close enough for me to fly to, or for us to fly to, or no?
How far does the flight spell go?
It lasts for 10 minutes, and it does. I guess if we're dashing 120, 1,200 feet per minute, so that's 12,000 feet in 10.
I'll say yeah.
Okay.
Are
Then you
you
know
guys
what?
walking?
What's
You go.
that?
You go.
Where are we going?
I was gonna ask if you guys were going to the hotel.
Yeah, we'll go to the hotel.
Okay.
All right, so let's get some dinner.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Hi. So, as you guys make your way back to the hotel, you notice someone standing outside of the hotel, and you recognize both him and bell that he is ringing as he sort of leans against the wall. And he turns his head to you, and you notice the jester with his very quaint smile and the beaming light of the overhead sun. As he smiles at you, you've seen him a few times now, and you realize why things feel amiss about him. His facial features are very uncanny, in a sense. And he gives a nod to you approaching, stops ringing his bell, and he steps forward to you three. Far frowned, friends.
Hello.
Yo.
What brings you here?
He kind of looks around and then pulls a letter out of his jacket pocket and hands it to Isaiah, which is closed.
I will read the letter.
He kind of like scratches at his nose and says, "When you weigh the cons and the pros, semblance and resemblance lose all pros. You'll scout the latter, ramble about, lettered in their wear-worn wares."
Hit blunt. No. What does the letter say?
You go to open the letter and he kind of like stops your hands and very quietly says, "Look not at this reckoning hour. Walls have ears, flowers have eyes. The street will see your brain should you lose your mind. Fly ground, friends." And he walks off.
Because the hills have eyes.
I can't understand stupid, but I think he means that we should probably read it when we're inside.
Yes. Very well. Yeah, I guess we'll go inside, get some
Whose
din
room
din.
do you go to?
Uh, Yip yaps.
Okay.
No one will expect it from Yip Yap.
You go into Yip Yap's
I'd
room.
like to have some detect magic on. I'm looking for anything that might be watching us.
You don't notice anything.
All right.
And of
And
course,
this
with
letter
my
won't blow
detect
up if I
magic
open
eyes,
it?
I don't.
No, the letter seems fine as well.
All right. Let's read this sucker.
So when I'm done reading this, I'll post it in the Discord so that you guys can look at it again. At the top of the letter, it says, "What's more odd than an even word? 153, they say great things to me." And following that, "Say I, you know the why of you, but are founded here, where there can is of a sounded lot, so to here explain. Throw it far will no be seen easier, that it say you sing ring that this hell bell forward, next second to only your hidden ear."
We get that in
Oh, of
chat.
course, it's obvious.
Can we get that in chat?
Yeah, I said I was gonna put in chat, don't worry.
Good.
I know what it means, but I'm gonna let you guys figure it out so it doesn't.
You know what it means?
I don't wanna
I'm
get
sorry.
I would love to hear this after we're finished recording.
I'm sorry, Isaiah. Can you read that again, but in common?
for shizzle.
What does any of this mean?
There you guys go.
Mhm.
And with that, we'll end the session with the mystery letter. And I hope you all had a good time playing. And I hope
What
everyone had
does
a
it
good time watching. And I will see you all next week. Bye.
Boy.
Cat.
Stay